Good morning, students and friends. Today is Thursday. I know there were some problems yesterday with file types and stuff like that. So I appreciate you working with things and trying your best in communicating. Um, I am going to kind of jump a little ahead today, but not too much of a change because I know some of you still have to get your stop motion done, so we want to continue with that. But I am going to give a little bit of instruction for working with Adobe Animate, and just heads up on tomorrow, Friday, I will not be adding anything new. It'll be catch up and just your weekly summary as we do. So I'm not going to talk about this too much. Just keep asking questions if you're stuck. I can definitely help out with that and hopefully get that done and out of the way. I'm sure some of you are getting frustrated, so we do want to move on with that. But if you had been working or hadn't started in Animate, um, I gave you a couple yesterday. There's some how-to videos. This is what we're going to finish off with, are kind of doing a practice, but I did point out if you go to help and hands-on tutorials, there's a whole bunch of in-app types of tutorials. I suggested starting with this windmill, and it's going to go in here and go step by step on how to do some simple stuff with animation. So you can go through as many of those as you want. I do want you to export those, upload to YouTube, and show me a link when you're done, just so I can see, that you did get it done, and that'll give you some credit for today and getting practice on that. If you did get through there, or if you just want to kind of jump ahead, what we're going to do, or I'm going to do with my animated card, is kind of go through this demo where I have text coming in from either side and Santa Claus going across and then the logo fading in. All right, so I'm going to go through that process now. When we start in Animate, we are going to give some options as far as your frame sizes like you do in any other program. This is the web category, which, as you can see, that has some mobile device settings in there. So I was going in there and looking at the iPhone 5, which is probably a little smaller than my phone, but I think this would be a good size. Hopefully in the end you can watch these or send these as a link to somebody on their phone and have a nice greeting that would fit right in their size in there. So that's why I kind of went with this on this size. So you get a timeline that's very similar to Premiere. You have a toolbar, you have panels, but there are a lot of differences with Animate than we had with Premiere. It's more similar to Illustrator in that we have shape tools and brushes and selections and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not going to bore you with going through all that. So the first thing you want to do is import your images to the library. The library is where you can reuse items. If you just put it on the stage and you deleted it, you'd have to import it again. So I always import it to the library. So you should have your graphics kind of prepared beforehand. And if I go into here and okay, where did I put my stuff? Bear with me for a second. Okay, I just set up all this stuff. Thought I put it in here. And let's see if I sort by date. Do I get anything from today? No. All right, let's look at this another way. So I feel like I have files in that project and it's not importing. So I'm looking in here. Did I put them in there? I don't have a pause on my button. Yeah, here's the files that I want. So here's my Christmas tree, and I had this image as a background. So I'm not going crazy. What am I doing now? Animated GIF, it's not there. Oh, look at this. So I had a filter on there, which I don't know why. But if I go to all files, there they are. All right, and now we can go to large icons. So maybe that's actually a good thing, where if you did that and you say, why is my stuff not showing up? Make sure this little filter down here is on all files so you can see everything. All right, so when we bring that in, where'd they go? Well, they're in this, as we said, the library. So now we have these reusable things, and I guess since I have multiple files open, it kind of combined my library, so that's why I have other stuff in here. So you want to set up your layers similar to what you would in any other program, where the bottom is your background and further away from you the top is going to be closest to you. So I'm going to bring in this picture. It's a little big. This black box is going to be showing you the document edge. So I'm going to zoom out. Come on, mouse. My wireless mouse is having a moment now. Come on, wake up. There we go. So I'll go to 75, I'll zoom out. Now I can select this, and you have to choose, if you want to resize, this tool here, your free transform. And then from there, you can kind of resize it. It does resize a little weird, but I'm just going to leave it a little bit big. It's okay if it's beyond the edge there. So that's my picture, and then I made a PNG file of my tree, so I don't have a background. And that came in and automatically allowed us to scale that. So I know some objects work a little bit different. Probably, rename that as background. We can lock that down so that we don't accidentally move any of that. All right, then I would make a new layer, and I am going to start typing my text. JPPY. All right, you get this white box around to start, but then when you use your selection tool, it goes away. All right, so to make things animated, so I had this move in from the left. All right, I know I'm going to start it over here, and then all I'm going to do is right click and I'm going to say create motion tween. Now, it seems like it disappeared, but it's because if we look at our timeline, our text is extending to 1 second, our background is not. All right, so what I'm going to do is on my background, I can go down here and just say insert keyframe. All right, so now that puts that in there, and that lasts there. All right, so now I have my text is over here. So we think about our keyframes from video even. It's a point of change. So we're saying at this point in time, it's over here. So now I'm going to move my playhead here. Let's say now I want my text at that point to be over there. I see my dotted line there indicating that we have an animation happening, and boom, look at that, our text is moving in. So I'm going to do the same thing with my next layer. Make a new one. I'm going to grab my text tool. Actually, I'm going to copy. I want to see if I can be, I might be able to be kind of tricky with this. No, I'm not going to take a chance. I think something weird's going to happen there. So I'm on a layer that's outside of between. So make sure you have the right layer selected. All right, so we have that one, and again, we're going to kind of move that down. I know it's going to, I wanted that one to come in from the other side. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing kind of here, create motion tween. So that time it didn't kind of extend the timeline. I'm going to make this one come in about 2 seconds, so I'm going to add another frame. And now we can see that we're still missing frames on the other ones, so we can just go select them both and just add frames to that. And then, so now I'm at this point in time, I'm just going to move my text over here. And so now we have the happy coming in, and you notice that we have another dot here. So it's basically holding that position on this layer. And then the same thing on the second one. It's kind of moving over. And we have our text coming in. So that would be just doing a movement if you wanted something like that. If you want something to fade, I thought that's why I did the logo. So now I have my next layer. At this point, now I have my OCVTS logo. I'm going to bring this in here. All right, now this time for this, to make this fade in, I can do a motion tween again. This is normal. So whenever we bring something in, it has to be converted into a symbol. I didn't want to take too much time to talk about it, but that is what you have to do. You can just press OK, and we'll kind of do that again for another second. So I'll put in a keyframe, and I'll extend my frames down here the same way we did before. And for this one, we're going to now select it, And then we're going to go to Properties, and under Color Effect, we can go to Alpha. All right, so just like we did in video, all right, so we have it starting at 0, and then if I go about halfway through, because I like to kind of see it stay in that appearance, all right, so now it's going to fade in. All right, the last little thing here that I found, it's kind of new in some of these newer versions of Animate, is some, ooh, that's right. All right, I think I chose a different file format. This is, there was a library, or there was a tab up here. If I go back to this one, see if I can find it. There was, the Santa Claus was like a pre-made object. So this isn't a deal breaker here because we can kind of add that, but I didn't think. Let's see, if I go to Properties, I can see, I want to see, usually it tells us the file type. They talked in the video about things being either ActionScript 3 or HTML. Alright, so this does have an HTML 5 wrapper. That's kind of the file formatting. I think we're going to find the same thing here. Oh, no, this is JavaScript. So maybe that's why I was able to bring Santa Claus in there. Let's see. Alright, let me, I think, because it is cool to have some of these pre-made little objects in there, and I just wanted to see if I could get that. Alright, let me just see if that was the case. If I just made a new one, I wasn't really paying attention at the beginning, so that's the platform type. I did that previous one in ActionScript 3. This is HTML5. So now let's see if, where are those things? Well, I will have to get back to you on that one. That will be some of the more advanced stuff, I guess, when we get into characters. So, but this is a good start. That'll allow you to make things fade in or move. All right, and you know, you can look at some of those other tutorials. Basically, when you're done here, you are going to say, you know, you'd save it as your animate, your flash file, and then we're going to say File, Publish, Settings, and we are going to, actually, I think there's a button up here, Quick Share and Publish. Publish, Video, MP4, there's what we want. That's an easy way to do this. There is an option there too. You can publish right to YouTube if you have, it just makes you log in, I think, so it would kind of skip a step to do that. But if we just wait here, it is encoding it and going through a similar process like we would have in Premiere. Oh, but since I don't have a full version of the Creative Cloud at home, my media encoder is timed out, so I can't show you that part. But that's what you would do. You would publish it. It's going to make your MP4 file, and then you can open that up in YouTube and go from there. So I'm going to try one more time here, see if I can get that to come out. Actually, I think there's an option here. I might be able to get around that. So I do export, video media, entire movie, H.2.4 preset. Yeah, I think that AME's the Adobe Media Encoder. So I'm going to see there are some settings down in here. Let's do match source, high bit rate. That's what we typically do for video. And might have to use that media encoder. But let's see. It looks like it went through. Yeah, it keeps trying to open that media encoder. So I cannot show you that last part on there, but that would be the process, and you will not have those issues because you guys do have media encoder on your computers there at school. All right, so I can talk about that again next week. We'll definitely do a demonstration on Monday and do a lot of catch up. Tomorrow, I don't know if I'm going to have a video. It's just going to kind of be a catch up day, and if you don't get to this today, then maybe try to work on that tomorrow and do some of that stuff, getting into animation a little more familiar with that. Thanks for all your efforts. Keep communicating, keep asking questions. Please don't forget to post proof. I would prefer it to be on a class comment, but if you email me, that works as well. Thanks. Have a good day. See ya.